That's really all it is. Because younger generations have actually stopped eating breakfast at these sit-down restaurants. This is why restaurants like Denny's is closing 150 locations. Look at this. Denny's is closing 150 locations across the United States. It says the diner chain was recently acquired for more than $600 million last month. That was back in November of 2025. Here's the thing. Denny's has been closing down. It's not because people stopped loving pancakes. It's not because they didn't want to go there and get the Grand Slam. It's because they've changed, they've shifted, they've adapted to the new economy, and they're trying to save money. But this isn't a story about Denny's is closing. I've talked about that before. No, this is different, okay? Hear me out. Here are the numbers, all right? Around 15 to 25% of American adults skip breakfast on the regular. Let me just give you an example of what I had for breakfast this morning, okay? Nothing yet. It is 8 a.m. I've had nothing for breakfast yet. Here's the difference. In a minute, or when I'm done with this video, probably about 9 o'clock, I will have a yogurt. That's it. That will be my breakfast. I don't need to go to Denny's for that. I don't need to go to Wendy's, okay, to go get their breakfast, go get some, French toast sticks or a breakfast sandwich. I don't need that, all right? Look at this. Wendy's is closing 200 U.S. restaurants. Yeah. Wendy's announced just 2 months ago they are going to close 200 locations here inside the United States. You think...
Call Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, we could see, where, this country is going. It's literally collapsing right before our very eyes. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations to you brothers and sisters that are out there listening, learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutations to my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I hope we pray that this quick lesson be edifying, comforting, uplifting, and exhorting as always to the elect. So we could see exactly, what's transpiring, in Babylon, man. And these Babylonians, these American citizens, are starting to feel it, man. This is Ecclesiastes 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And we are indeed watching the fall of Esau, Edom, and this wicked ass cesspool they call America right before our very eyes. Excuse me. So I was, this is from Snyder Reports, and I was just kind of, combing through his videos, and a couple videos stood out to me. And the first one was the, what I played about, Americans skipping meals, man, and it just shows like how, how the elites are putting the squeeze on everything. When he continues on, and then in this other video that was pretty good too, right here it says Americans are broke, not antisocial, right? So when he was talking about a friend that he had, or he has, that for the 4th, he him and his family skipped out and decided not to go because he had just recently lost his job, right? And the scriptures speak about that as well. Let me get that. What's that? Ecclesiastes 12. And I'll start at 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, right? The keepers of the house go to the economists. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And those that look out the windows be darkened, right? So the grinders go into the jobs and they're ceasing because they're few. And it says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, right? Less and less work. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right? There's people that are looking for employment, waking up early in the morning when the birds are chirping. And all the daughters of music shall be brought low, and that goes into the music, and the music is absolute trash nowadays. But the point being, there's fewer and fewer jobs, man. As AI continues to advance, and these wicked ass elites, so-called elites, you know, um, push forward more and more, AI and robotics and things of that nature. People are continuing to get fired, man. I mean, like the guy said in the video, they're closing down all these different locations. Those are a bunch of jobs that they're talking about, man. People that use that money to, maybe it's their second or third job, and that's how they use it to sustain themselves. Maybe that's their main job. They could be a manager or whatever. So there's a lot of misery, uh, in anguish coming to Babylon, man. So let me see what I have. Oh yeah, so what I was saying in this, right? America. Let me see if I could play a little piece of this. Hold on.
You could be approved for
Slovakia. Damn commercials. Here we go. So let me play some of this clip, and this is fair use for educational purposes. So without further ado, here we go. It says Americans are broke, not antisocial.
Here's what we know. Okay, I want to show you this. Let me explain what happened. I have a very good friend that he was supposed to come out and do some stuff for the 4th of July weekend. He decided not to. He told everybody, no, myself, my wife, our kids, we're not going to go out. We're just going to stay home, enjoy some family time. That's what he said. Everybody said, you know what? Come on out. Come out to the lake. Come out and just enjoy this time together. We'll rent a jet ski. We'll go and have some food. Maybe go and play some games. Go to the bar, right? Go dancing. Go to the water park. All this great stuff. He said, you know what? That sounds fun, but we're going to pass. Thank you, though. That right there would look like he's antisocial. But here's the truth. He's not antisocial. He lost his job. But nobody knew that. I want to read something to you. According to or what he told me was he lost his job at the end of June. Okay, so not the couple days before the 4th of July, but the week before. So, almost 2 weeks ago, ended up losing his job. As a result, himself and his family decided they're going to stay home. He's going to figure this out, and they're not going to go spend money that they do not have. This is the issue. Let me just play some clips for you. Okay, look at this right here. You want to go golfing and go have some fun for the 4th of July? Look at this right here. I don't know if it's...
Now, listen to this, Israel. This is how, matter of fact, let me grab a scripture real quick. How's it go? Slovakia. Here we go. This is 2 Kings 6 and I'll go straight to the point. 25. As a result, there was a great famine. Slovakia. Anyway, as a result, there was a great famine in the city. The siege lasted so long that a donkey's head sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a cup of dove's dung sold for 5 pieces of silver. Right? So everything was extremely expensive, right? And the scriptures speak about, let me see if I can find it real quick. This is Revelation 6. Let me go, Revelation 6 and 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right? So, and if you read it, let me read it in another version. I think it was in NLT. What was that, Revelation 6 and 6? It speaks about a day's wage. 6 and 6, and yeah, let's try NLT. Here we go. Revelation 6 and 6 in the New Living Translation. It reads, and I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings say, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, and don't waste the oil, olive oil, and wine. So imagine working a whole day and all you can afford is a loaf of bread, man. A whole day slaving, and all you can afford is a loaf of bread. And that's what he's pretty much, kind of speaking about. So let's get back into the video.
I don't know if it's just a Florida thing, but why is every round of golf pretty much $100? Like, it's all $100. So if I had a wife and 2 kids that wanted to play with me, it could be any quality, of course. That's
$400 to go golfing. 1 round of golf, $100 a person, 4 people, $400. Simple math. Okay? Maybe it's like, you know what? Golfing's pretty expensive. I don't think we can do that. Let's just go to the water park. I want to show you something. Okay? One of the water parks, one of the bigger ones close to me, is Silverwood. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I like going to Silverwood. Silverwood's a lot of fun. Has a lot of the rides, has a lot of food, little, kind of activity stuff. It also has Boulder Beach. Look at this right here. If you want to get into Silverwood, which includes the Boulder Beach and includes the Silverwood, the theme park, all the rides, it would cost for 1 day for a regular person $85. Okay? You want to go for 2 days? It's $126. 3 days, $163. After 4 p.m., it's only $56. Okay? But here's the thing. If you are between the ages of 8 and 64, which the majority of people would be, they're $85 for 1 day. Okay? A youth, that's 3 to 7, $55. If you're younger than 2, it's free. Seniors 65 years of age and older are $55. Okay? And a hero discount, look at this, hero discount. For police, fire, and military, you're getting about $12 off. Okay? You are paying more than seniors or youth.
I mean, it's impossible, There's no way, and this is what he was, pretty much what he was mentioning in the first video that I played about people, Americans skipping breakfast, man, because the devil is putting the squeeze on the people, man, because people are losing jobs, AI is taking jobs, robotics are taking jobs, and then the people that do have jobs, they're not getting raises, right? They have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet, and even still they can't because the price of everything continues to go up. And this is why people like the devil, these devils like Elon Musk keep mentioning UBI, Universal Basic Income, So they're essentially bringing Babylon to his knees and his citizens in order to ultimately usher in that mark of the beast, man, that RFID CHIP. Because they'll, just speaking as a man, but just seeing how it's playing out, just being a watchman, I believe that they're going to continue to bring the people down, then they're going to come in with a solution, as they do, problem, reaction, solution, and that'll be this, CHIP. First it will be the UBI, I believe, to get people acclimated to it, get people used to it, and then ultimately they're going to say you get people used to it, and people won't be able to live without it, and it'll, help people's lives out, and people won't have to work so goddamn hard, and they'll basically make themselves as a savior, right, in a way, and then they'll come out, like I said, I'm speaking as a man, but just through the spirit, that's how it seems like they're moving, come out with that, that MO to the TB, and say, hey, you enjoy having these benefits, well, if you want to continue, just like how Netflix, you have Netflix and you're used to having 5 TVs on Netflix, and all of a sudden they start switching shit up and say, oh, well, we're going to charge you the same thing for 5 TVs, but now you can only have 3 TVs. Like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, but if you want to still have 5 TVs, well, you can pay this premium price right now. YouTube, it used to be really no commercials when it first started. Then it's 1 commercial. Now it's 2 commercials, and some, depending on what video you're watching, they got a fucking 5 10-second commercials or whatever. It's fucking annoying. Then you watch a movie on YouTube, that shit is like watching regular TV because you got commercials all throughout the shit. But in case you don't feel like dealing with that, here you go. If you want to pay YouTube Premium, and that's how these devils operate, man. And so that they're gonna come with that damn MO to the TB to keep people, the ones that fall for it, keep them being able to receive those benefits, man. You know? And the Lord spoke about, Revelation, the 14th chapter. If whoever takes that, they're going to be destroyed, man. But that's how the devil's coming, man. So let's end off on this. I don't want to make this too long. I'm about the Lord's will link up with the brothers and do another lesson. But yeah, man, Babylon is through, man. Let's get this. Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, right? You're supposed to just be done with this place, man. This place is out of here. You Israelites out there, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and our fellow brethren that were scattered amongst the heathen nations, you're supposed to be returning to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and trusting in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man, and not trusting in a system, in a country, in a empire that's collapsing, man. That doesn't make sense. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches onto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So, Babylon is through, man. And the people in it that trusted it, they're through too. Isaiah 24:8. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. The joy of the harp ceaseth. Even this past fourth, a few days ago, it just every holiday just doesn't it doesn't hit like it did, when I was younger, even a lot of brothers say the same thing. It's just not. People are pretty much faking the funk a lot of the time, man. They're not really happy that, they really can't afford to do things. They really couldn't afford fireworks. They really couldn't afford to go to the lake. They really couldn't afford to buy all this food because the hamburgers and the chicken and, the pork, whatever the fuck they're buying, the charcoal and shit, is too goddamn expensive. The gas to drive to get all these things is fucking expensive. They want to go buy an outfit. They want to go over here. They want to do there. They want to go to the bar after. All this shit is expensive as hell. And people a lot of these Edomites that they're not talking about are getting their cars repoed. They're getting their houses foreclosed on. They're going fucking homeless. That's what is not being reported, right? So, as they want to try to stay face and act like shit is still sweet, but they're miserable, man. And all praise to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. The hell with these damn devils. Isaiah 24:9. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Right? So they drinking to take away their misery, is not to celebrate a lot of the time. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And that's what the times that we're in and we're continuing to enter into. This place is done. It's circling the drain, and it's only going to get worse. And these people around us, are feeling it, man. Call Halal Yamla, Abanawa, Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, taught me his truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. We're almost out of this bitch. And salutations to my fellow brethren that are pushing his word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom, Abba Ball, and Kwame Asharala. Hey, shalom. To the next one.